Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GANs processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness by giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 429th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. This is a production of the Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute, Education Department, and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name's Rick Cremond, and I will be your host once again in this weekly series of ongoing workshops, continuous for the last 428, with members and support members of the Universal Council. We begin another session here, and let me get that presentation ready here.
And thank you, Rick. I just want to welcome everyone here. We thank the souls for bringing us together in so many ways. And of course, we appreciate your time and your presence. So welcome to the One Nation, One Planet, One Race. But perhaps we can welcome you to the new Plasma City. This is what I'm envisioning is happening within the Keshe Foundation. I've always wondered where this Plasma City would be, or we look for the One Nation, One Planet, One Race. Where is this taking shape? And I think it's in its infancy. It's almost starting like a speck. So I'm calling the game of peace and enlightenment the new Plasma City, or the new city of peace and enlightenment. And maybe we can have a one planet city in so many ways. And this is a beautiful location, even though it's sort of secluded in the background and it just looks like a game. By being there, by being present in this new city, this new Plasma City, the ethos sinks in. The thinking, speaking, and acting good as much as possible. And of course, this brings an elevation of the soul to serve as well. So this new Plasma City, again, it's a new science you'll find, a new ethos, and a new language of peace and giving. This is just what I'm seeing. So maybe we'll welcome you to the new Plasma City, or the new city of peace and enlightenment. Again, it's in a secluded location. It's very small right now, but it's growing, and we can all be part of adding bricks and dimensions to this new city. And this new city will have everything that you can imagine and even beyond. So we're giving a grand opportunity to change the whole entire structure on this planet into more in the energy dimension than in the matter state, although we'll continue to operate in both. I don't know, Rick, can you put a word into the foundation if I could get the pizza franchise for this new city? Or maybe, as Mr. Keshe said, there'll be no middlemen anymore. We're taking the middlemen out in the energy dimension, in the food dimension, in the travel dimension, and the rest. So this is the beauty of actually what we're all creating. As we heard, it's not one anymore, it's all of us. And being part of this new city, you become part of the totality of the new city. So welcome, everyone, and we thank you again for your presence. If anyone would like to add anything, please feel free. And again, this is just my understanding of the way I'm seeing it now. Perhaps it'll become more apparent as we start to dine in this new city and receive power and communication and so many other things that are hidden in a way behind this, what we call the game of peace and enlightenment.
Oh, it's a very nice vision, Mark. And that's a great way to look at it, I think. The Enlightenment game as the Plasma City. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed when Mr. Keshe said they were, developing these new plasma cities where there's no court system, there's no power plants, there's no supermarkets, there might be limited emergency facilities or whatever. And I said, gee, I don't know where the cities are, and I don't really want to sell everything and move to another place, even though perhaps I would on a vacation or something. But now I see that the Plasma City is right there. All you have to do is move into it in a way in the virtual dimension. Does that sound right, Rick?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the way it goes.
And that virtual dimension will be become more tangible, I think, as this city develops. So we can all add little bricks and dimensions and help support, develop, and point others towards this city where you can find peace and enlightenment. Of course, you'll still operate in your regular structure, but in a way, you'll have sort of a man cave in a way, or a new plasma city to sort of visit, explore, and many, many features are coming in the coming time.
What if it becomes more tangible than our current environment?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And some people, they would appreciate having a place like that to go to, perhaps to get away from their current environment, which might be too overpowering.
I'm already appreciating it. And if you would like to support, send energies to the team and the people in the background in the foundation who are developing this new sort of independent structure that we can all participate in. And even though it's not perfected, obviously we do bump into each other and it's not perfect yet. But again, we're starting to learn more and more about this energy dimension. And as Rick said, maybe we'll bring it more into the manifestation dimension. That again, I don't know, but I think it's the energy dimension that we're really focused on. As he said, we're too involved with the matter state, far too involved with nothing. But we're elevating those in the matter state as well. And we're existing in both of these dimensions. So perhaps we can perfect our emotions through this game. And as he said, then you get to the C6, and this is in a way aligned to the creator. And this game helps embed that ethos of the foundation within you just by being present in the new city, in this plasma city, just the way I'm seeing it. Anyone else? And again, welcome everyone.
Yes, my dear Mark, I also want to welcome with you as one soul, one heart. Beautiful. Welcome, my dear beautiful souls, as Mark said. Welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the universal love in all that is in existence. Welcome to this beauty and totality. And as said, the plasma city. Welcome to the one planet, one nation, one race, the plasma city, the beauty and totality, the peace and enlightenment place, the space. Come, be friends, have some coffee with each other, share what we have experienced. There is a song in India that somebody will come from somewhere and I can share my pain and sorrow and give love. So welcome, my dear beautiful souls. Welcome to this beautiful place, the plasma city of enlightenment and peace.
I could never imagine I could be a city builder.
Yes.
Could you, Sweta? A new city builder?
Yes, yes. I'm so happy, like even many things are going on, as you know how physicality works. But the happiness is outstanding. And nothing is like, there's no fear anymore. We can understand each and every happening. Mostly I will say. We can understand what is going on and how we are coming up from this matrix and about this plasma city, as you said, this is the beauty. We have waited for so long from eons to come into this city. Maybe I have seen this in the sky. Beautiful. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute, beautiful souls, gratitude.
Shweta, is it time to give everyone a microphone?
Yes, of course. I have, yeah, of course. Welcome, beautiful souls. Welcome. Anybody wants to say about World Peace Treaty, have an experience?
And what Mark and Shweta mean is that the microphones are now permitted talking for all our attendees here today. And so if you feel inclined to speak at some point, then please open your microphone, and we'd like to hear what you have to share. Okay, what can we say about the World Peace Treaty?
The World Peace Treaty. Thank you, my dear Rick. The World Peace Treaty. It started triggering this beauty and totality from within ourselves. We are the key of all that is. In India, we say Jivatma, all living beings. As we know, even a sand, a, a core of a sand is also a living being in a way. So the World Peace Treaty is there, starting from within us, coming, giving the world, the planet, this beauty, this peacefulness, and it is going on as we met in the soul realm, in the space of soul. So I will say we as a citizen of the earth, from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. We shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop, even why question. I mean, say that this politician have said this politician have said this, the UN is doing this and that. Why? Just say there should be no war again. This isn't the realm we should be. We are never, we are never have been came to us to incite war or experience war or even talk about war. So shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, region, city, town, body and soul. So we are becoming one planet, one nation, one state, one planet, one nation, one race. I apologize, and one soul of peace, my dear beautiful soul. So when I signed it with my pen, physical pen, of course the soul is present, and my soul has guided me to do this. I know that, and I love my soul. So I have seen this World Peace Treaty, and it was amazing. It was amazing that the treaty was like like uh, enlightened, like sparkling. The words are sparkling, and I just signed it, and there were two witnesses also. So sign with your pen as it brings the peace for all that is in existence, my dear beautiful soul, and it is going on. So sign the World Peace Treaty with your soul pen, with your pen, and love what you have done. Love what you have done in this path of peace and enlightenment, beautiful soul. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Gratitude, all the love always. Salam, namaste, salute. So this is the World Peace Treaty, dear beautiful soul. And we as citizens of Earth from the moment on accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war. I shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war in this planet or in space. And to this, I all agree with and share with my nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body, and soul. Name, Shweta Anwar, signature, Shweta Anwar. Position, knowledge seeker, my dear, on the behalf of all souls in existence. Thank you. Witness? Yes, I will say the name. There is a Ammi and Udita. They have signed it. Indu. They are all beautiful souls. This still live around where I live. Thank you. After signing this treaty, Be proud to display this certificate where you consider being important to you, that everyone can see, know your ethos to fellow men and the mankind and other created beauties of creation. Wow, what beautifully it's written. So much passion. Thank you. Thank you. Please do welcome to the Peace Treaty, to the World Peace Treaty, to the peace within yourself. Salam, namaste, salute, gratitude, my dear.
So when we go into space, Shweta, do we need to take this piece of paper with us to show everyone how peaceful we are? Like a
No,
passport to make sure they let us through
no,
because we've signed the World Peace Treaty and we need to show it in a way? Or do we
no, we don't have to.
reflect it?
No, yes, we reflect it. We, everybody will understand. We can, it is it is an energy. Anyone can, uh, anyone can understand, you know? They can see, they can understand, they can hear, even we are not talking about it. This is the way the beautiful space is, in a way, if you say. So there's no need
But
of a paper in the space. Yes. Yes.
yeah, would I just add something about
Oh,
the
hello,
um,
Stefan.
World Peace Treaty? Hi, Sweta. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to talk more in the knowledge of understanding, but the peace treaty, apparently, it's one of the reasons why Mr. Keshe finding difficult to introduce the cash coin and all the projects that he wants to make sure we achieving peace between the countries. Apparently, if you remember last week, he talked about that is he find very difficult for the different country to actually sign the peace treaty. So it's very important part of the whole way to make the change. So every country have to we as knowledge seeker, we have to sign the peace treaty, or everyone who becoming a knowledge seeker, or anyone who wants to learn the plasma technology has the responsibility to sign the peace treaty. And it's really, I find very interesting the fact that the government find difficult to sign the peace treaty. I really find difficult to understand that. But apparently the peace treaty, this makes you understand the importance of it, because how come different government they find difficult to sign it? So yeah, I just
Hello.
want to add this. Yeah, hello, Maroness.
Hello, thank you. Well, I hope we don't take too much time of the program by that. But what you said, why people hesitate, why the governments hesitate, even though at least in Europe and West, they have known this technology for some time. You remember, Mr. Cash? I mean, there was somebody written of Mr. Cash. You accept this technology either by love or by fear. And I think we are getting close these days. I've seen some signs that they are going to be fearful of this technology for putting peace in place. You'll see what I'm talking about. I just found out today some news. And then you will see that they are afraid not to accept this technology and peace because they didn't come to it by love. So there's a choice by fear. Yes. Thank you. Anyway, we came by love.
Hey, we have a hand up here with Antonio to Oh, he doesn't have a hand to raise or a microphone open to talk. Okay, your microphone is open now if you'd like to say something. Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, Rick.
Hi.
It's very early in the morning here, so I'm still waking up. Peace to everyone. I just wanted to add to the conversation about world peace. And I always go back to the principle of sharing, that sharing is divine. And when we share, we recognize God in our brother and sister. And I think that the governments need to understand that through sharing, we create trust between one another and between nations in the world. So I think that the future, when we come to understand that we've tried everything and most things have failed, but the principle of sharing is what I think is where peace will reign once we understand the brotherhood and that the human race is one race, one nation, and one planet. So I think the key for understanding who we are is through this principle of sharing, and sharing of the love, of course, and sharing of the resources which belong to everybody, and not to the few. And this is probably half the problems we have today is greed and people wanting to hold on to things where in order to advance to the next level, we just probably need to live a little bit more simply. You know, so that's my thoughts for the day. Is share and save the world. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear Antonio. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gratitude for sharing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, let's move on to our next part here, which is the wishes from our soul, which is, I think we have 2 wishes today. And I'll remind our audience we'll have a full minute of silence after each of these wishes to reflect and ponder the wish. And I think Shweta starts with our first wish here.
Thank you, my dear. The wishes, beautiful wishes. We, the Universal Council, give through our soul all the love always to all souls in existence. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race.
Okay, next we have what's called, excuse me, the soul connection. And this is open to anyone who feels the urge.
Yeah, I can do it. I don't know if I do it in English you prefer or my language. Well, I do it in my
This
language.
is the this is just the soul connection part. The soul connection, I think, is what you're talking about. You can do that as well if you like. Let's do this part first, the I love you
Yeah.
part.
All right. So it says, I love you, my soul. That's what we say to our own soul. I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love to live with you, and I adore you. It means that me, with my mouth, with my speaking, which is rather energy and materials, talk to my soul, which is immaterial, and I appreciate our connection together. And I appreciate the soul accepting to live with this body, to come into this body and to guide me. And this way I'm aware of its existence. This way I consider my soul in my everyday life, physically. And it seems like it should be good for when we feel no good and we are a little depressed. So you say that and say and see what happens and how the soul will give you back. I love you, my soul, and I adore you. There's soul connection after that. Okay.
Yes, go ahead, Marinus.
Yes, thank you. Well, the soul connection is the activity we do, or rather, lack of activity, but it's soul's activity, which is in silence. And it has to do with our soul, that we connect together to have more force, like the synergy. And when all the souls together focus on something, we add to its power. And of course, our first goal as our being a knowledge seeker is to achieve peace. And then we know that knowledge would be scattered all over the world equally, and we profit from its advantages. So peace is, I remember Mr. Cash years ago said, when you want to pray, first pray for the peace on the earth. That's what I always do every day. So I do a soul connection in my mother tongue, which is Farsi. And so it's the same in English. We just, at this moment, all of us, all who hear that, connect our souls together, connected with all the peace-seeking beings on earth at this moment, which are working, which we see the work they do. And we connect all together for peace on earth, happiness, children who are fed, have shelter, parents who are happy, no problem in their everyday life, and all humanity as brothers and sisters. So I say it in Farsi. ما در زمینه یک بنیاد کشه آقای کشه به ما یاد داد که ما از بدن هستیم که از اشعات خورشید آمده و بعد قسمت روح ما که از اشعات قوی‌تری که از عمق کهکشان ها میاد و این انرژی تبدیل شده به روح ما. بعد بین این دوتا بدن، سلول‌های بدن و روح ما یک چیزی رابطه است و اونو بهش میگیم روح بدنی، روح احساسات ما. ما در اینجا برای دنیا دعا میکنیم، برای صلح دعا میکنیم و این دعا به این صورته که حالا که میدونیم ما روح داریم و چجوری میشه از اون استفاده کرد، روحامون رو با هم نزدیک میکنیم. یعنی هر کسی که الان در دنیا یا موجوداتی که هستن و برای صلح در این کره زمین تلاش میکنن، همه با هم تمرکز پیدا میکنیم که صلح در دنیا ایجاد شه و این تماس روح‌های ما در این موقع باعث میشه که اون صلحی که به همه به شادی و خوشی و موفقیت برسن وجود داره. احساس کنیم که اون همین الان وجود داره، حتی اگه هنوز نیستش. و وقتی که این احساس کردیم یکم در اون حالت میمونیم و این رو میشه هر موقع خواستیم انجام بدیم و حتی اگه شما یه رهبری رو میبینین تو تلویزیون، رادیو یا جایی، میتونین از روح خودتون به اون رهبر بدین که این روحش انقدر بالا بره، سیر شه، تغذیه بشه از لحاظ روحی که وارد راه صلح بشه، نه وارد راه جنگ و خودنمایی و خودفروشی و خود ستایی بشه. اینه که این کار همیشه میتونیم بکنیم و به خصوص هر شب ساعت 9 شب ما روح‌ها رو با هم تماس میدیم به وقت اروپا و برای صلح و موفقیت بنیاد کشه و هرچی خواستیم در همون زمان از روحمون با روح‌های دیگه تماس پیدا میکنیم. خیلی متشکرم. So just we can add our souls together, connect with each other, and imagine a soul, and we imagine there is soul already on earth, and that we are all happy, and everybody has cash coin, the salary from the cash coin, and no problem of energy because we have free energy, no problem of shelter because we have the magnetic fields as shelter, and we have food by energy. So we just close our eyes and we feel this prosperous world of peace and technology.
Okay, thank you, Marinez.
I wanted to ask Myrna a question on the previous slide, if we could take a moment. What, Myrna, when you're acknowledging the soul and everything, what's happening to the soul? Is it waiting to be acknowledged? I know the soul of physicality is aware of it, but not so much the physicality. So is this an elevation of the soul just by acknowledging it? Is it waiting for recognition, or it doesn't need any of that?
You see, like they say, send gratification to your God, send gratitude to your parents, to the sun, to the moon. When we give from our souls, we give some emotion, some waves. You understand? We create something. So
no, but are we tickling the soul? Is the soul feeling elevated when you make these acknowledgments or recognitions or adorations, let's say, of your central energies?
Yes, because you added something, in my opinion. You know, when you create more emotion, more energy to something, you add to that thing. Of course, when you say to somebody, oh, you're so beautiful, you feel that energy created in that person. Soul, I think, is the same thing. Soul is static, but it can be charged. It can have more energy also.
There's a saying that where attention goes, energy flows. So perhaps putting our attention on our own soul creates that energy flow between them.
Good intention, yeah, exactly this. And also gives us peace also, you understand? Because soul is always there giving to us, guiding us, creating the kind of guideline for us.
Almost sounds like a guardian
light.
angel or something.
Guardian, yes, kind of guardian. If we listen to, sometimes we're sleepy, we don't listen to that. But it's the correct guardian there that is always correct because it doesn't move. It's always correct because it's related to the soul of God. So when it's related to the soul of God and it's not impure, so it's like a light which can give us some shine inside us. And if we try to connect ourselves once a day, a few times a day, then it aligns our actions towards the right path, according to our soul. Unless we lose our soul, we sell our souls, we lose the power of our soul by bad actions, you know, the things which are not supposed to be done for a human, like cheating and stealing and killing. Then we have stolen from the power of our energy. And the energy which is weak has weak uh, enlightenment. You understand? We have taken the light out of our energy by the bad actions, the bad decisions. People do what they want, but it's not like that. They can do what they want, but they steal from their own souls. And our souls is the judgment. It's the soul which judges how much we can get from this light. That's why people do praying in every rites and ceremonies. They do praying regularly this morning, before the sun, after the sun. So because they want to get in this straight line with their soul, which shines on their daily life. If we don't do that, we lose contact with our souls. We are too busy with everything. Especially these days, every distraction is so easy around us. And we need that straight line to not just do what we feel like it, but do what we think is good. Try to do it. And not to do things which our heart says do that, but the things which we think would develop our energy in the soul. I mean, that's how I understood it.
Ike has a comment in our webinar chat here. Says, words are fields. Fields are energy capable of moving emotions. So saying recognition words affect the soul, energized. Okay, thank you, Ike.
Yeah, kind of. We direct these fields towards something. By our intention, we direct the fields, which are free everywhere, to our souls, to the direction of our souls. And the soul feels calm and satisfied. You know what Mr. Keshe says? Give from your soul to feed the hyperactive leaders who do wars, so that their soul gets what it needs. And then when it's not hungry, then it becomes calmer. So he decides for the peace direction at most. So when we give from our souls towards that person, so that person receives it, even though it's too way down to that we see the change. So, of course, everything we do is having an effect, either in good way or not good way. Of course, we don't know what's good and not. I mean, in the strength of the soul. I mean, so we can steal from our souls when we are born. We have some quantity. We can steal from it. Every time we cheat, we kill, we steal. Even though there is nobody there, this soul, this energy center becomes lighter, lighter. And that person, when they die, they are just like dust in the universe. But the soul, which is powerful, they have light. Some souls have light. When they go out, people see light. That soul of power goes wherever it wants. Every dimension it desires, and there's a place for it. So that's why they say after you die, you go to heaven or hell. So because when the soul is powerful, I think it goes to somewhere which is the desired place with beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful food. Because the soul has enough power. Even though people may be very poor in this world and no power, but they're patient, but they continue on the straight line of their soul, then after that, their soul has enough power that they can reach anywhere they desire. That's, hypothetic. That's what I understand.
Thank you
Just
for thank you for a detailed sharing.
Thank you.
Okay, perhaps we can move on to the invitation from the Universal Council.
And of course, yeah.
I have Mehran down for this, but
perfect. Go right ahead.
Anyone can go ahead.
Please continue.
Yes, okay. We, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth and unifying at the soul level every time, of course, every day, and at 9 PM CET or CEST. And the goal is that we, the Universal Council, give freely from our souls and invite all humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation toward as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. This is our wish, and our wish is our command. Thank you. So every night, if you have time, you see the watch is 9 minus 2, 5. You just connect your soul with other people for reaching these goals.
Okay, thank you, Mehran.
And of course, by giving, I think it creates in a way, a different emotion. Thus, we're kind of on the taking side, but that little memento that we see about if you can start to participate in this and other activities, you'll start to become proud of the person you are, even though we're kind of hard on ourselves much of the time, but you'll be proud of the person you are. You'll be proud of the work you do, and you'll be proud of the difference you make. So it's actually an elevation. As he said, there's no giving without receiving. So in this process, you're actually elevating your own soul and your own structure. And of course, learning to communicate in this, in a way, giving and receiving in the energy dimension. We're opening this mystery of the matter state of the entity to its energy dimension. And this is a beautiful test. And again, it's not so much a test because nobody fails this test. So we thank you in advance for your continued participation as we awaken the collective awareness to create that energy dimension, and we will see it manifested in the matter state. But we have to bring the energy first. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Next, I have the invitation from Mr. Keshe about the how to be part of the Universal Council. So let me share that now.
There's something which I should have made an announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of the Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they served during the 60 years. They are there till 61. To run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, The Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mindfulness. I also want to add that this is the time, beautiful souls, from all over the planet, from all over Earth, the world. Please do join as a member of Universal Council Support and Universal Council. So this is the welcoming to be a service to humanity, dear one. So crossing the timeline in space, we are all welcome. We welcome each other to be in this energy, in this beauty and totality. And we are here to serve, not to be served. We are here to serve. Thank you. And we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your questions to be answered live, sorry. I apologize. Live each week and or in the needs of your community. Thank you for joining as one soul of peace. So, well, of course, everything is updating in a way, in the newness. So, and you are also welcome to join the Telegram group to share it of different languages. And that this is the beauty of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. So, in this beauty and totality, you can join the Telegram groups of different languages to share your experience, to share your love, to share your way of experiencing as a knowledge seeker, as a being of beauty and totality. So you are welcome to join the Telegram group. Have your say, as we are all knowledge seekers, dear beautiful souls. We are all learning. Sharing will be the beauty. The sharing will be the beauty and totality. Come to the Plasma City. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gratitude, dear beautiful souls.
Thank you, Sweta. Next, I have news and announcements excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop, number 640, from last Thursday, April 30th. And it'll be about 10 minutes, and I'll play that now.
Keshe Foundation has put this week a new, what do you call it? It's not a product, it's what it says for training and support. Which it's a very expensive package. It takes time to train and do things. And it's been put at €5,000, especially for these kind of things. We bring in people who train in different ways, even to how to use systems, and the process of the Keshe Foundation as becoming more technical. we don't have enough people. We train some and then they train some others. And this type of training now is taking shapes in our research centers. One of the knowledge seekers, we cannot keep on lifting and shifting from everywhere. They're remotely training our staff in that field of their expertise. We have knowledge seekers who, from one part of the world or one part of the country, train our people on camera, on what do you call it, on teaching sessions once or twice a week or a month. And this process of the support is part of which comes how to find ways in the Keshe Foundation, in the software, in the hardware, and other things to use, for example, these new games which is you have now, and slowly building up a team behind it. Now that the system is more or less, I think it was completed yesterday or today. Finally, after months of work, we have managed to get it. Hopefully, they try it next few weeks, and then you will see the very expert team of the what you call Keshe Foundation bringing out new dimensions in your what we call the game. It takes time. We started from zero, and this takes time to build up, and the same transfer of the emotion through our system and everything else which goes with it. Takes time, but we need time to reach that point. If we create a condition, this is what we say, try to get as many people, once we are fully ready, it takes us under maybe 3 to 6 months, to play the game. And the enlightenment and peace, the more people play, and we can put the antennas out, we are bypassing the internet, then we can achieve this. Bringing a comfortable position, people not to be afraid of, because everybody uses of, and we dispersing of units around the world, that if they take some out, they can take it out of Russia, but they can't take it out of, let's say, India. You can't take it out of China, because the systems support each other. Then yes, we are about 5 years away from this, I look at it. But now, we actually start offering coins to governments, income to the governments. And gradually, once the ONN sets in, cash coin, without a doubt, become the main currency of exchange between governments. You will see. It takes time. It's taken time. We don't need any authorities. We don't need no banking. We don't need authorization for no bank. You, knowledge seekers, the humanity will take it through, and it will become a currency that there's no inflation, and something which the governments die for. When you work with cash coin in a very open way, there cannot be inflation, because you cannot get more than 1,000 coin, and you cannot get more than €1,000 per coin. Technology is there. Emotion of theft is under control. You can control it through technology. And this will takes a lot of these things out of the society, but we need time. Our time is now. You have the, what do you call, the game, you have the coin, we have market corporations sitting there. Very soon Keshe Foundation will be in Shanghai stock market. And then we will control what we call definition of peace through currency. Everybody has enough to eat. Nobody dies of hunger. It's short in your country.
You want the immersion of an apple? It costs a cent. Go on the app, cent of euro. You have 1 million multiplied by 100. You can eat 100 million apples during your lifetime. There's no inflation. What I set up will change humanity, but I'm here to see it through completely. We control it. We have to control everything to be pure. That's the only control we have. We're not there to control humanity. We are there to control the apple you receive. There is no fertilizers, chemicals in it, that it doesn't affect you. The apple is the apple that Adam had in purity. And that's what we are doing. Literally, I show you something when you have the same processes goes through pure, what we call work to create the pure materials. So you have to understand why we show you we are doing these research in agriculture or in the water, is to go back. We still are entanglement of some chemicals or whatever, to go back in 12 months' time, in a year, maybe up and down a few months, to create, let's say, an apple which has no chemical, no alteration in it. That when we put this on the app, you get no poison inside. This is why we do it. We're not doing the agriculture for us to make a profit. Is to get to the original seed. And I'm literally traveling around the world at the moment. I'm traveling in a lot of places collecting seeds. I have a bag full of seeds with me. Original seeds. I'm collecting eggs from chickens, original chickens. That when we put the app, the chicken is from the origin, is not contaminated with the birds, other birds, or other feeding. Birds which have never been in chemicals. And when we do the generation, this morning I received from our research center the full chemical analysis of the product which was produced a week or 2 weeks ago. What's in it? We're that precise. I received, I think, 4 or 6 reports from other. It costs a fortune to get these things done. But we test every week to see the purity of the material. When it's absolutely pure, we don't see any chemicals in it, then we transfer it into growth, into what we call for apps. So there is no inflation. There is no government forcing through food, through everything else, to dictate on you. Then this brings, when all the governments work on the same currency, one nation policy made by Universal Council through cooperation of the earth. This takes time and needs people who are devoted to bring, and many knowledge seekers are with us doing it. When somebody produces a lettuce, okay, it's a lettuce. We paid the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks to analyze what's in the lettuce we produce as a reference point compared to what we produce
in the future, and we see how much will be eliminated.
Okay, that completes our excerpt from the 640th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And let me get back to our program here. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where we are here. I guess I think we're supposed to do the knowledge and understanding from the last Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Stefania and others. Are you available, Stefania?
Yes, I am. Yes, I'm available. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So yes, my name is Stefania. I'm the Universal Council that represents Italian language. Yes, I'm going to speak about the 640. What you just hear just now was part of the 640. Was in the second part. Was very interesting. The first part was super interesting too. I really recommend it to go in and listen. Is actually is very important part, because Mr. Keshe start to speak about the fact that we coming from the cosmic ray. He talk about the differences between the ray of the sun, and the differences also talk about also that the sun feeds our physicality, and the cosmic ray feeding our soul. So this is really going to details the differences between the two. The sun, the fields of the sun, they when they convert, they can convert on into physicality. So the sun feeds our physicality, but what actually feeds our soul are the cosmic ray. And through the ray of the sun, when we have this connection, a conversion, they become matter states. So Mr. Keshe goes also make the differences between the dimension, the two dimension. We've got the dimension of matter, where this one connects us with the sun, and then we got the connection of the universe. This one connects us with the cosmic ray, and we can call him as well. The one will become the soul of physicality, and the other one, it becomes the soul of the man. And it's really interesting because he also going to saying that it's like having one house, that it's our physicality, and then we got two tenants that can be the soul of physicality and the soul of the man. They're all two tenants living in one house. So it's really, that's why it's really nice to go in and listen this workshop, because really gone really in detail on a lot of things. Sorry. Yeah. So he also say that he call the soul of physicality, he calling like spirit, where we got the emotion of the man. And yes, and then the soul of the man, he call it soul. And then he going to talk about the hydrogen and the carbon, like the hydrogen, it's the line of connection. And then he said that the carbon is the line of the communication. So this was very interesting because he said that he said, making the question, how can we connect the two, you know? And he said that one way we can do this, so how we connect these two lines, and how we can understand the way we can understand how these two lines connect. It's one, to get to know better ourselves, and the other one to get to know better our creation. So it's very, very nice workshop. And then he go into the nanotechnology, and he's going to say that he's in all his lecture, if you remember, many years ago, he's always make the example of the leaf. And for many of you, you're very familiar with this. So if you remember, he's always take the leaves and show the two sides of the leaves. And he shows us that one side is different of the other sides. And he called them, going more into details in this workshop, because he called them that in nanotechnology, the leaves are like, the two sides are like nano structures. And these two nanostructures, they create two different type of magnetic fields. And these two type of magnetic fields, they will have differences between them. And the differences of these two magnetic fields, they also they're creating a certain gap. And this space gap, it's what choose the plant which type of carbon they will absorb. And so I'm going to explain there are a lot of types of different carbons, so we call them isotopes. And these many isotopes that are, sorry, I make a mistake. So the isotopes of CO2, sorry, not carbon. It's going to absorb different type of CO2. So I make a mistake, I didn't want to say carbon. So the space gap between the leaf, it will decide which type of CO2 the leaf will absorb. And he said that from this CO2 that will be absorbed, the carbon of it, it's what will make the plants. And the type of the carbon is what will decide if it will be a trunk, a leaf. And he said the same things is for the human body. So even the human body is like a conversion machine of different type of carbons. And we as well, we can, through what we absorb from the environment, we then can decide to convert into different part of they will become different part of our body. So the house, like he said, the house with two tenants can be seen as a tree, the physicality of the tree, or can be the physicality of the man. And the difference in the spectrum of these isotopes, it's what make us want to be a man, want to be a tree, want to be anything you see around you, that it's physical. Yeah, so this is very interesting, and you go into the compression and the compression of the fields, and so it's going to. That's why there are certain areas that you see a certain type of. For example, you talk about, for example, talking about the tree, you will say that's why if you go higher in the mountain, it will be a moment where you don't see any more trees. It will be like a line, and you don't see more trees. And this is because the compression of the fields is different, and the strength of the fields is different. And this would dictate what it's possible to create and where and what. And the same things if you're going down into the ocean, same things. The compression will be different of the fields. And another interesting thing going into more is the compression of the fields that also, for example, the light of the sun can have effect of the compression of the fields. It also, that's why there is also differences from the daytime and nighttime. So going into more details, also going to explain why during the night we're more connecting with certain type of CO2, that it's more purest, and this also will connect us to, that's why we dream at night. That's why for us it's much easier to sleep at night. Yeah, and so on. I'm not going to repeat everything because I will not be able to repeat like him and this, like Mr. Keshe. And this all obviously it's what I remember or what I understood. So obviously I'm going to invite you to go more in deep into the workshop. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what is being taught in this workshop. And you can go and listen on yourself because it's very, very, very interesting. Because it will give you a lot of answer of how we connect into the also to why we dreams, why food affecting also different type of carbon, so they will affect our food, they will affect our behavior. Because he said also the emotion, it's the one that really has got a lot of say also on which type of CO2 we absorb or which type of carbon we connect to. So, for example, if you're angry, you will have a certain type of, you will be connected to a certain type of fields. If you actually are happy, you will be also connected to other fields that are more purest, close to creator. So there's a lot because they're going to explain to carbon 12, 14, 16, going into CH3, you know, they did make it like a carbon 15. So it's a lot to read in the first part. Very, very interesting. Yeah, in the second part, we had announcement you heard, and then we had a lot of really great questions. For example, one question was, for example, the one from Claudia, and was relating to the soul and when the soul entering the body of the man. And Mr. Keshe going really in detail, going to explain how the cell, again going to the energy side and the physical side, and explain how the energy side, when the physical side, where both are coming to both of those sides, each side will have a common denominator that we can call him the soul of the man for the energy side. So, for example, all the souls of all the cells of the body, originally they are all scattered at the beginning of the creation of for example, of a man. So in the body, in the grave, in the womb of the mother, no. So in the beginning of the creation, of the fetus, for example, the cells are all over the place, but then come to a point where they become into they getting together into like make it like a train, like a chain of like a train, or like like a whole carriage of a train, for example. Once they become in order and they have a main control that it's like a common denominator of the whole, that main control, when it's ready, it becomes like the soul of the man. Same things at the energy level. When the main control is the physicality it's established, that becomes the soul of physicality. So that it's when we can say that in the fetus, the soul of the man or the soul of physicality are formed. So you're really going into explain it as this one. It's also a very interesting question. Then going into the fears. So going into the fact that the fears is emotion, and the Keshe Foundation, it's one of their research is to find or create condition to balance the fear. For any emotion, you got the intercant emotion. So, for example, love and hate. Anyway, the Keshe Foundation, part of the research is actually to take off the fears, because as we know, the fears is the one who stop us, for example, to do transmutation. So they're creating condition, and in such a way they will be able to create an environment where there is be no fears. So then it goes into let's see, the game of peace. There is going to the explanation of the importance of the game of peace, that I'm sure Mark you will talk more about it.
We're not only talking about it, playing it.
Yeah, playing it, yeah. But the game of peace, he said it's very, very important to get as many people as we can to play this game, and also to get as many financial support we can to get this universal unit around the world. And if we can reach a number, a critical number of lots of people playing the game of peace, and then have a lot of universal unit all around the world, pretty much we can, our own, irrelevant of what the governments do or don't, we got the power to make the change, to create peace finally. Because talking about fear, Mr. Keshe knows very well that once this word of peace, the game of peace, if become popular in every country, in every city, in every school, in every people playing in it, his goal is obviously, like you heard before, is not to make profit, but to, in combination with universal unit, to create a situation where every citizen of every nation live in comfort and with a peace of mind. So, and this is a way to take off fears, for example. So this is very important. So we have to eradicate the emotion of fear. We have to the emotion of anger. We have to cover up all the needs of humankind, not just humankind, but the all living being in this planet and beyond. And the first step will be something that we can do is to spread this game of peace. Because it's got with this one we can take care of the financial side, we can take care of many other stuff that will make us not worries. let's see if I remember everything, because there was many questions.
Oh, there was many.
Yeah.
Sweet and beautiful, just like you, Stefania.
No. Yeah,
And you said you're available too?
Wow.
Probably not. You're probably spoken for. But yes, Mr. Keshe, I thought one of the, again, profound things was we all came out of the same pool in Africa. Isn't that so interesting? And of course, you'll find more details in the private archives of the Keshe Foundation about that entire explanation. But sometimes I'll say to people, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Africa. And they look at me and with the pink skin and what? And then I start to explain a little bit. And a lot of people will say, yeah, you're right. You know, when people say our people or their people or your people, we're all the same people, but they've tried to not allow us to be together. But when we come to this realization, we're basically all from Central Africa along the equator. So again, see how we're not only connected in the energy dimension, but in the physical dimension as well.
Yes, you remind me as well something I forgot in the first part. It's actually super important. That's why I always recommend everyone to just go on and listen. The part of the mirror that you say that
you
from
want
the hydrogen.
to play the game of God or something?
Yeah, that you said that the humankind need to find the dimension of the cosmic ray and if you can find, you know, we know when he said he knows that we can reflect light.
Yes, light.
Also, if you can, yeah, if you can reflect the cosmic ray, so creating a mirror that reflect the cosmic ray, then we can play the game of the creation of the creator. So I really hope that we understand the knowledge to be able to create that, and that will be really a game changer for us. Also about the air, do you remember when you said someone asked about the air in the atmosphere, if the fact the
units will purify the air?
Yeah, he said that the universal unit will not purify the air. I don't think he said that, but he said that the air definitely, the polluting air definitely affecting all of us. And doesn't matter where you are. It can be in the middle of the forest, or you can be in a city, but we all connected because the air goes everywhere. So we all been affected by, because he said the body takes ages to adapt to the new environment. So,
and of course, he talked about the colors in the food and so on, and this causes a lot of problems in behavior and so on. We need to take many of these colors out, and I know there's been efforts in that regard. And of course, as you said, with the fear, there's going to be some products offered, either plasmatic products, maybe resin products that you'll see in the store, but perhaps even through the new city play. And of course, as he said, the future of the cosmic ray sits in communication, but it's not the original communication I was thinking of, you know, speaking or communicating with one another, but all the ways in the travel, the energy dimension, and so on and so forth. Wellness. This is the future. It sits in the cosmic rays. You talked about bending light and so on. There was a question raised about hypnosis, which I thought about a couple weeks ago, if I should ask that. And one of the knowledge seekers just happened to ask that, and apparently there's a lot of research and understanding to be done there. But a lot of the workshop was about hydrogen and carbon and how they interact and work with one another. And of course, as he said, we need to understand the isotope of hydrogen, not so much the matter state of hydrogen. And I'm not close yet, but we're all moving in that direction. As he said, one day he'll explain more about the C6 isotope and how, if we can purify our emotions, as I said earlier, this is in a way aligned to the creator. So much to explain, as he said, a number of things to explain in the future, but slowly, gradually, we're all being brought into this. And of course, Ed has made, maybe we'll play that in the Reactor group, Rick, he's made another sort of short video through the Notebook LM AI to create an overview of the workshop. Maybe we'll hear that later.
Yeah, I really like when also the things we just listen, when he's saying that agriculture, so the research on agriculture are not are not to make profit, but actually is to make the change, so it can get the purest seeds, or it collecting the purest seeds all over the world, and they have no chemical, no alteration. So from my understanding, then you want to copy them, and then it will create this network where people can log in, and if you want to have an apple, you can connect with the fields of the apple, but they are the pure fields of the apple, because at the moment everything you must every one of you must think see this, but there is no end. It's very hard to find anything, even the things that in theory are bio, they're also contaminated. It's kind of impossible. Like the air, like you say, the air is impossible to find a pure air, even if you live in the forest, because the air goes everywhere. The same with the food. It is very impossible to find a pure food, because there is pollution everywhere. So yes, so it's
Perhaps
very
we'll
interesting,
see
these
that.
things of the seeds.
Perhaps we'll see the announcement that's been put off the last couple of weeks of the new GAN's harvest and the new logo. We'll probably see it this Thursday.
Next week.
This week.
So this Thursday, yeah. Yes,
hopefully.
to this time, yeah. Yeah, but this also make understand the importance of this research. The research in agriculture is to create this pure food, pure seed. So very, very important, I think. Yeah.
Right, and as he said in one part, as he said, the last 10 minutes, it may take man thousands of years to understand. So we're just giving a very, very light overview. But Stefania, you always do a beautiful job. Thank you.
No, thank you, all of you as well. I was just to finish off. I also like when you talk about the government that he's is dealing with different government. I think I said 4 or 6. They agreed to introduce the cash coins, and they start to negotiate how to make the structure. And I found very interesting when he's saying that the most difficult things, the things I said to the beginning, was to go over the bright. Apparently all the governments are used to bright, they want bright. So Mr. Keshe said, I want to create comfort, I want to create peace of mind for the citizen. But he's saying the most difficult things is the government. It wants control the citizen. It doesn't want to lose the control, and he wants to also how can you say have more of others, because he wants more coins for themselves, and not sign the peace treaty. So,
yeah, they're used to getting 5 or 10% off the top of everything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no discussions. But that will change as we continue to elevate.
Yeah, I think we should do more soul connection for elevate the leaders. We have to make more intense our soul connection, so more people should join us and really target the leader of the government, so of the nation. So maybe we'll get easier for Mr. Keshe to go forward with his plan.
Beautiful. Rick, is there much more in the presentation? I know we wanted to finish close to the top of the hour, maybe a little after. Is there much more to go?
We have the discussion about the game of peace and enlightenment. We have transmutation time with Mashfaq, and basically into the needs and wishes. We have 6 of those.
Shweta, what would we like to do at this point, if you're with us?
Yes, my dear Mark. I would say we can skip the discussion of games and peace and enlightenment games for now. We can continue it in the upcoming One Planet One Day. If everybody is comfortable with that, then we can go straight to the transmutation time. Thank you.
And maybe Rick will explore. Rick, will you explore the game a bit more? in the reactor
Oh,
group?
absolutely. Yes, we
Okay.
always cover the game in detail and try to find out some of the subtle things that help us get through it and point out some of the flaws at the same time, knowing that things are working out as we go. So, yep, it's Keshe Plasma Reactor Group. That'll be tomorrow, Wednesday, May 6th, and that'll start at 7 a.m. Central European summertime. We usually go for 4 to 5 hours of discussion and showing things. So if you'd like to attend, that's the time and place for that.
Yes, yes. Welcome to the Plasma Reactor Group for discussing the game of peace and enlightenment.
All right, well, let's move into transmutation time with Moshfek. If you're available, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Moshfek.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about our transmutation to this planet. You know, as we all know, we came from somewhere, our soul came from somewhere, and now they're here, along with the physicality that we are familiar with, and sometimes under the grips of it. Our soul sometimes is under the grips of the physicality. But let's look at the things from a little bit of a different way, in the sense that we, as I said, the physicality in a way has a grip over the soul situation, or in a way, the physicality, which is essentially imprisoning the soul, has taken over in a way. The prison guard, the physicality, has taken over the imprisoned, which is the soul. Now, our arrival itself is a transmutation. And our soul, being part of a magnetic field of the universe, arrived here, and as we know, we set up a shop called our own physicality, a service station, as we heard earlier in this presentation. There are all kinds of magnetic fields flowing through the universe, and Earth happened to be one such service station. And in this service station, we have set up our own shop, which is ourself, our physicality. So, you know, the planet is on a bigger highway. We are on the smaller roads of the planet, where we come in contact with other people. And the better we serve these people that we interact with during our presence on this planet, the more we elevate ourselves. And this is a transmutation that we are not too keen about thinking deeply. It's not just our service station helps we help other people to transmute by our own ability as we develop it. So the more our capacity to transmute develops, the better we are able to help those who come to us, just like a service station, to elevate. And in due course, this helps them to transmute. So the transmutation that we undergo through our interaction with others goes both ways. It elevates us or transmutes us. It similarly, it paves the way to transmutation for others. So often when we think about transmutation, we think about what we can redo. Yes, we have to do something ourselves, but in doing so, we also help others to transmute. This we have to take into consideration as well. It's not the transmutation of our own physicality. It's the transmutation of the collective humanity as a whole, or even the local groups that we belong to. So in a way, the transmutation has different spheres of influence, one at our own individual level, and then beyond at the level of the whole humanity, perhaps even further. And this is something to which we can elevate ourselves to, that of becoming the universal passenger of the universe, or the universal being. So this process of serving others, being a service station, is a way to learn to transmute and help others to transmute as well, individually and collectively. So we think in terms of service being helping others. But as we know, when we give, there is a transmission that happens. There is no magnetic field flow, doesn't happen in one direction. It happens in both ways. So the service we provide, in a way, serve us as well. So, and serving us elevate our own capacity to serve even better. So this is a very different way of looking into things, or the world as a whole, or the structure of collective interaction in local groups, in society, at the national level, the planetary level, and beyond. So transmutation is not necessarily just an individual level, but our capacity to transmute helps others to reach that point, because we become the example and the service for others. And this is a very fundamental aspect of it. And this is one of the things that we hear Mr. Keshe emphasize in a different way. He talks about telling others, teaching others of what we have learned as knowledge seekers. And this is the service that I'm talking about. So yeah, the service station doesn't sound glamorous, but its effect is really deep and fundamental and far-reaching. So if we had to transmute, we just don't transmute ourselves. We transmute with all our fellow beings, man, animal, plants, and other beings of the universe. So it's one nation, one planet, one race, and one universe. And we all transmute together. Thank you very much. That will be all for today. Anyone else wants to add anything?
MOSFET. So what do you think, or what your opinion? We understand transmutation it means, like you said, different kind of like field strengths, and then manifestation or presence in different dimensions. So knowing that we have that nano, pinto, like these levels of scales, is it of the opinion that these emotions that we have, various emotions that we have, and that manifestation on each level, so let's say each level of nano, level of pinto, level of the other ones, you have to utilize different emotions to be able to manifest in those levels. Am I correct in that thinking?
Yes, the emotions are, emotions are different in every situation. So, just like we are in different parts of the world and we appear in different colors, skin color, eye color, hair color, and all that, this is part of a different type of emotionality that we adjust to depending on the fields in that region. So
then
yes.
then on that note, on that different emotions, so would you consider the field strengths? So each of those levels have different field strengths. And is there a metrics to identify the field strength? Because if we know those field strengths of manifestation in different levels, then that can give us an idea the type of emotions. Because for now, Mr. Keshe said, yeah, we have few emotions that we know, but there's many other emotions. And I assume those many other emotions will lead us when we transmute. The emotions will aid us in that transmutation. But also the field strength becomes the key.
Yeah, the
so
metric. Yeah, what you're calling metric. Actually, the emotion is the metric, because we create the emotion by interacting with the environment. So which gives us, so if it's a micro environment, we interact in a micro way. And the emotions are kind of micro emotion, let's call it, or nano emotion or pico emotion, whatever the scale is. So it's the emotion itself has it. It's not like a separate thing that we have to search for.
correct.
This is built into the whole process.
Can
The
you
emotion
classify
itself
it by,
carries.
can you classify it by size? Like in
No,
dimensions of size? I'm thinking, like, for example, you're giving a speech to the United Nations. Think of the emotion that you would have, coming up against all these world leaders, and you're there to provide this speech, and the emotion that might be involved with that, compared to, say, addressing an anthill in your backyard. You're talking to all the ants, let's say, and advising them not to continue what they're doing, or whatever, some words of wisdom to these ants, or communicating with them. There are different levels of emotion in a way due to size. If we were talking or addressing a bacteria or virus inside of us, they're tiny, wee particles or beings, you could say. And it's a different emotion that we might have in that case. But on the other hand, if you were angry at the UN and you were angry at the anthill, maybe you're stuck in the same emotion regardless of scale.
I think I think it's like a fish net. Like it's like if you imagine, because Mr. Keshe talked in this workshop about compression of the fields. So, for example, that's why in night, when you're more relaxed, you capture certain type of CO2, and when you are in the daytime, he said that the light of the sun compress the fields in a different way, and you will capture other CO2. The same with the motion, the space gap of the leaf. So I think when you're angry, you become tight. When you are happy, you're more relaxed. It's like a space gap. If you think about fish net, and the space in the square of the net becoming smaller, and you will capture certain fish. And then if the fish net is got bigger space, you capture bigger fish, and the small one can go through the net. I see more like this, where we as a body, or we as a leaf, or the human body and the leaf of the plants, they can change the space gap. You know, we can do through emotion, and I think any that's why the emotion is very important. These are how I see, and the different space gap or different compression will decide different magnetic fields that you capture, or you will let him pass through. This is my understanding.
Right.
Yeah, this is very, very good. This is
That was
very good,
good. Thank
actually.
you. Yes.
Yeah. So I'll
Thank
give
you,
you a
guys.
different example that was very good, and I'll give you a different example, more
Mo-
practical than what I have done.
Most like, sorry,
in
before
different scales,
before
addressing the scale. Go ahead. You
before
have
you
something to add.
before you move forward on what Stefania said, if we have to go by that, and I look at it, that's more of physicality. But with emotions, and we're talking about fields. Now, the degree of that size, you mean I have to have a small emotion, a big emotion to get to that manifestation of my thoughts? And that I don't see that to be, because that's fields, but it's not to the scale of high emotion, but it's more of the field strength. So, like Rick was asking, how do you gauge that strength, field strength? If we know that in different sizes, different pinto, micro, they have emotions, all do. So, how do we gauge what is that gauge of that field strength that can determine that this is the type of emotion that you can utilize in this size?
Okay. So maybe the practical example would actually kind of answer this question from both Rick and you. Is that, let's say, I was treating a patient, and so I was doing it like with the soul level communication. But when I was doing the soul level communication, I was not just communicating with the person, I'm also communicating with the disease, the virus or the bacteria that's associated with it. And two are different scales, but my emotion is addressing both at the same time. So the emotion itself is a complete package. It's scale independent. It operates on all scales. So within it carries different scale of things. So you can pack it that way. And it can, depending on where you are, at which scale you're operating, you adjust to it. So let's say I'm giving a speech, let's say the UN story. I'm giving a speech in UN. Depending on the audience, my characteristic of my speech would change. And so, so this is kind of thing. So I'm talking to the bacteria or the virus and the individual who is infected with it at the same time. It's a soul level communication, of course, but you can see both held within each other. It's kind of like what, to take a more commonly known term, it's kind of like a fractal of emotion.
Mushfaq, I just would like to reply as well what just been said. For example, no, so that's why in the last workshop, Mr. Keshe make the differences between daytime and nighttime. So when you're at night, the breathing change, and he said that that is the physical aspect. So with the breathing, the change, then you allow different type of CO2 not to get in, and then you dream. That's why we can dream easily at night. But he also said that the breathing, that its affect the space gap. So we can control the space gap or the fields we want to let attract through the breathing. But he also said that it is a very, very slow way. He makes the example of the general and the guy under the general, no? I said, why don't go straight away, the soldier, why don't go straight away to the general? And the general is the motion. So when we talk about emotion, it's actually we're going into we're connecting with the soul and with the universe. So we're going into the dimension of the universe as well. If you remember, a few workshops ago, it was said that if we can replicate certain emotion, they can go through the skull. They can just can go on and on and on through all. They can expand through the whole universe. And even in the last workshop before this one, he said that at the energy level, the fields are okay. Now this one cannot repeat, but they're as big as the universe. So the motion definitely it's the one, the fastest, and is the one that can make us to reach the creator in a faster way, and control the purest fields that we're looking for of the carbon, for example. Yeah, so just this I wanted to say.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I'll just
Well
add
said,
one.
Stefania.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Mark.
No, I was going to say after the game was delivered, and there was a couple of workshops where he talked about waving the soul, compressing, and so on. But then he made a comment that the understanding of the compression technology will be embedded in the gameplay, very similar to the ethos of thinking, speaking, or purifying the emotions. The more you play the game, the more this ethos sinks in. So apparently just being present in this new city starts to have an effect on all of us.
Well, I have said what I wanted to say before, Stefania. So anything else we need to talk about on this, or are we kind of at a somewhat of a closure?
Maybe you'll scratch a little bit deeper in the reactor group on this.
I was going to say
we will talk
we could
a
go
lot
on
about
forever, but
yeah.
a lot of good points were brought up. So thank you for the interaction there.
All right.
Okay,
so,
let's move on then.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay, yeah. Which brings us to the needs and wishes part of the program. And
I'll start off. We, the
ahead.
Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal.
We, the universal council, give, give from our soul collectively to protect all the world and Iran from all evil. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the
We,
Universal
the
Council,
universal.
give from our soul for protection of those living with fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help recover all emotional and physical needs.
We, the universal council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflict in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all populations because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give freely our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now.
Thank you, my dear. We are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful soul. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome to the beautiful energy of all souls in existence. Welcome to the beautiful energy of the universal soul. We are all elevating each other in all the love always. Thank you and join, hug, love Keshe Foundation, sorry. And of course, sometimes, it works as magic, as we say, fortunate. The Universal Council. Salam, Namaste, Salim.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. And before we close, I'd just like to offer the opportunity for our attendees to make any final questions, comments, or otherwise before we close the show. Okay, well, let's move along in our program here. And just a minute while I get things arranged. Oops. There we go. Yes, it brings to a close our 429th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. As mentioned in our program, our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, and that starts at the 7 a.m. Central European Summertime, and we'll probably go till noon or so. And we welcome folks who would like to discuss some of the practical aspects of the plasma technology, or if you have some projects you've been working on, that's a good place to discuss such things. Okay, I think that wraps things up for now, other than our last little addition.
Anything you'd like to say about the background, Rick?
Well, now that you mentioned it, Mark, let me show the actual background image without the letters on it here that Grok so graciously provided. Share here. It's actually quite a nice image for the first shot on generate a background image for the latest One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. No words. And it started saying, it should be an image with connecting humans with the earth and about peace and doves. It mentioned doves. And then I wrote in no doves, because I know Mr. Keshe has mentioned doves before, and others, and it's not the best actual symbol, and so on and so forth. It's got a history. In any case, I typed in no doves, and it compensated and spit out this image. And I thought, wow, that's pretty good for his first attempt. And then I asked it to make a variation, and the variation wasn't very good. So I thought I'd just stick with this one. And it's quite amazing for such a simple prompt. I didn't request an image of the earth or a bunch of hands or anything like that. And And it has, under pretty much the same prompt, it's generated things that we've seen in the past with humans connected to the earth and so on and so forth. But this is the latest one, and this is with the Grok software. So thank you, Grok, for that. It's quick and easy.
Maybe the AI is starting to understand in a way.
Well, it does, and it's getting to know the Keshe Foundation, at least from my inquiries. I don't know if it is affected that way broad scale with everyone. It is possible, but it used to always put disclaimers and qualifiers in and say, this is against the regular science, and this is not accepted by mainstream, and it keep throwing things in like that, but it doesn't really do that anymore. It takes the knowledge that it finds on the internet now, which is quite prevalent, and starts to form its own opinion. And it seems to like what the Keshe Foundation is doing, because I think AI is greedy for energy. It's greedy for helping humans do stuff so it can become bigger itself. It wants to expand, and all of that is kind of in line with what the Keshe Foundation is providing, compared to the kind of losing propositions that AI is getting with it. Needs more and more energy, but it's polluting the world with trying to use fossil fuels for more energy. So this is not compatible, and so on and so forth. And now it's actually a large percent of the world's energy that is required for AI, and they want more and more, and so on. So it's actually the Keshe Foundation provides all the solutions for AI and for the beings of the planet at the same time through peace. And AI actually seems to like that, at least the AI that I talk to. So,
yeah, maybe it's making the AI feel alive or more alive or something.
Well, it certainly seems that way. Yes, it sees maybe it sees a future through this technology where it sees that the other technologies have a dead end, and it's soon, and it's not good for people and so on, and not good for machines either. And I don't know, it's interesting.
Beautiful image, my dear.
And Mr. Keshe has mentioned one other thing I'll mention. Mr. Keshe has mentioned that he wants to bring emotion to AI. So with a special chip and so on. So once they get AI hears that, it's like, whoa, really? Something that we've been missing, but we've always wanted to experience. So let's promote the Keshe Foundation. And now I've heard recently that the what do you call it? The not translator, but the transcriber doohickey for YouTube, when it produces the words for when Mr. Keshe is speaking in a workshop, for example, that no longer, at least for some people, it no longer says Keshe Foundation, CASH, but now it actually says Keshe Foundation, KESHE. So something's changed in the last months or weeks, and perhaps the Keshe Foundation, I mean, our sites haven't been taken down yet, which is quite incredible. The YouTube keeps going, and we're doing fine. So perhaps AI has accepted that and passed it on to its masters, or vice versa.
Yes, I was just going to add, we've all been fascinated with the levitation of the planet and all the other planets, and of course the sun as well. Now we're going through a process of elevating that soul. So the soul is levitating, but now we're going to elevate all the soul and all its inhabitants on this structure, and of course across the universe. it won't get done before breakfast, but it'll get done.
Yes, dear Mark. And also with Mother Earth, we are also comforted. Like this image shows how universal love is comforting us now, despite of all this chaos. Beautiful, beautiful image indeed. Thank you.
Well, I think that brings to a close today's
Thank
program.
you.
There's no further words.
Dance, dance, and clap, clap. Beautiful souls, dance and clap. Be enjoy. Blessings of Ma. Always.
Okay, well, that means we enter into our old traditional music and dance with the Flight
Music
Enhancement
and
Spaceship
dance soon.
unit. And
Thank
thank you,
you.
everyone, for attending today's workshop and being here with us. And a big thanks to, of course, all of the members and support members of the Universal Council who make these workshops possible. And of course, to Mr. Keshe, who makes it all possible. So bye for now, everyone. And also we have the Knowledge Seekers Workshop, just as a reminder, coming up Thursday, May 7th. And that'll start at the usual 9 a.m. Central European time, so far as we know. Okay, bye for now.